Hello again, Struck Club 2023 is already here, and so are the plethora of games releasing this month and at the beginning of this year. I've already made a few videos about those, uh, but now we have some leftover to do. And speaking of leftovers, normally I keep the low profile, not so popular games for last when making the videos, and this is one such video for unpopular low profile, um, but still potential hit games that are with 2D graphics. I already have another one with 3D, but this one is for the 2D games. And there will be several games here in the list. I hope you enjoy them. They're all different in their own way, and they all have something that catches my eye. So buckle up and let's go. This list will be in chronological order of release date. First off, we have Children of Silentown releasing on the 11th of January 2023. Developed by Elf Games and Wuna 2 Studio, published by Deadlick Entertainment. Children of Silentown is a dark adventure game that tells the story of Lucy, a girl growing up in a village deep in a forest inhabited by monsters. People disappearing is nothing uncommon here, but this time Lucy is old enough to investigate on her own, or so she thinks. So the game looks very beautiful and has the most distinct art style, I think, from the games in this list. And it's definitely not going to be everyone's cup of tea. There's going to be a lot of exploration and searching for hints, but beware, do not enter the forest. A unique, unsettling 2D art style fitting for a mysterious dark tale. Music plays a crucial role, and learning how to sing will help Lucy on in times of need. Combine items to obtain wildly unexpected results. Many quirky characters and animals to interact with. Be nice to them before they disappear. Play minigames with the other children of the village. A very mean cat programmed to mess with Lucy at any given chance. Curious original puzzles and yeah, there's a spoiler here. Use a leash and a pair of shears to break into your mother's best friend's house, all in order to steal a flower. So yeah, it looks fun. Whether it will be everyone's cup of tea, definitely not. But there will be some people who would enjoy this atmospheric game with mostly point and click mechanics. Next up is a game called Vengeful Guardian Moonrider. It is a side-scrolling action platformer that channels the golden age of classic 16-bit action games in a full-throttle quest for revenge. Created to defend a totalitarian state, the Moonrider rejects its programming and now seeks vengeance on its creators. Releasing on the 12th of January 2023, there is already a playable demo on Steam you can check out if you're interested in the game. Strongly recommend doing so. And yes, developed by JoyMasher, published by The Arcade Crew. It's a hack and slash platformer Metroidvania kind of game. Not my cup of tea. In fact, I hate that genre, but that doesn't mean some of you out there won't enjoy it. That's why I'm including this. It looks fun. There's beautiful pixel graphics, gotta give them that for sure. Complemented by an incredible soundtrack. Haven't heard it, but I'll believe them on that. Created by JoyMasher, the studio behind the amazing retro games Oniken, Odaus, and Blazing Chrome. There's authentic retro game feeling. Discover special modifier chips throughout your adventures and use them to customize the Moonrider's fighting style with killer abilities. Um, Again, they already mentioned incredible soundtrack and 8 deadly stages to overcome. How long a stage will be, I have no idea, but 8 seems like not much. We'll see how it is. But it says from start to finish, you enjoy seamless platforming action for a tight, focused experience that never lets its blade get dull. Next up is a very interesting title called Graze Counter GM. Releasing on the 18th of January 2023, developed by Bikkuri Software, published by Henteko, Dojin, and Sanuk Inc. A refreshing and highly replayable bullet hell style shooter that wants you to play dangerously. Right the razor's edge of life and death in this high risk, high reward, danger oriented arcade style shooting game. So the story says it's the 23rd century. Eden, the massive virtual reality network which helped humankind to flourish, suddenly severed all contact with the outside world, leaving the minds of its 100 million users trapped inside. A covert special task force known as Saviors has been called in to address the situation. And that's where our characters come. There's Uzuki Ginyose, Satsuki Furiyama, Hayate Katori, and Kiriku Kirisame, and Strae, I don't know how to pronounce it, Striae, the mysterious entity that has taken control of the virtual world Eden. Who or what she is remains to be discovered. So, a top-down scrolling 2D shooting game where you charge your gauge by getting dangerously close to the enemy fire, then unleashing it as a powerful enemy obliterating Graze Counter. Each ship has a counter gauge that charges by being in close proximity to enemy bullets. You then use this charge to unleash powerful attacks. Destroying enemies with these special attacks gives you stars, which are collected and used to build the brake gauge. Once the brake gauge reaches max, you can activate brake mode for a temporary yet intense firepower boost. So 7 total stages considering a 5 stages plus 2 alternate stages, including a continuous all stages mode. 4 difficulty levels, 4 unique story modes featuring fun interaction between the game's variety of characters, upgraded graphics and additional illustrations not in the original game. Flexible input system that supports any combination of mouse and keyboard or gamepad. 2 default chip types, 14 unlockable types, totaling for a total of 16 to choose from, including popular STG loving VTuber Hatsuki Hachiyama and Tomoko Machinery as playable guest ships, as well as 2 more playable guest ships from 2 other soon to be released Henteku Doujin published titles, Grand Cross Renovation and Blue Saber's Early Mission. Boss Rush mode featuring all bosses and a bonus extreme difficulty stage. 30-part mission mode that teaches you the tips and tricks of the game as you play. There's an archive mode, features a remastered version of the original game, and it also includes the bizarre bonus mini game Laser Maidens 2. Overall, a lot of stuff coming with this game. Next up, we have a game without a trailer I could find, the Beresford family, coming on the 18th of January 2023, developed and self-published by Dreamlight Game Studio SL. On the night of July 20th, 1824, 8-year-old Matilda Beresford was found dead. What happened that night? Was little Matilda's death an accident? Discover the origin of the curse. So the Beresford family features are animated backgrounds, CGs and sprites, dynamic background music according to events, intense horror novel with many events to discover, more than 15 characters to meet and investigate. No one is beyond suspicion. A mention, 2 spaces, what happens in the other dimension. Dialogues with different choices. Make your own decision to reach your own end. Will you discover the truth? So yeah, kind of like a visual novel experience. If you're into those, this one is a suggestion for January. Next up is another game with extremely unique, distinguishing art style. Mangavania, an old school action platformer game with pixel art graphics, and mind you, the color usage, black and white-ish, with some color here and there, is very interesting. Developed by Alexander Nikolaev, published by Sometimes You, and the release date is the 20th of January 2023. Metroidvania 2D platformer with archery, sword fighting, interesting pixel art game, old school action platformer. So join the adventure as Yuhiko, a young ninja who has gone to the underworld to find a cure for his brother. Free the lost souls to advance to the next level. Find spirits in secret places. They will tell you a story or give you advice. Explore dungeons, fight monsters, and meet new friends. Pretty much, there isn't much information on Steam regarding the game, but it looks interesting. The next game on this list is called Summit. Explore a giant mountain massif in this classical 2D Metroidvania. Climbing daring mountain passes, explore forgotten ruins and gather equipment as you ascend your way to the ultimate destination, the summit. There is a downloadable playable demo you can try right now, but the release date is the 23rd of January 2023. Developed and self-published by Dominic Hacko or Hacko. This game, let's read about it a little bit about the features. There's the world, there are the people, there's mechanics. Regarding the people, there's the ruby people, the emerald people, the sapphire people, the granite people, and the sulfur people. So the land of the mountain have once been home to a multitude of clans and people of different origin. Only a handful survived the events, and a few new ones sought refuge when their own lands became uninhabitable. Following the tradition of the Metroidvania genre, the game lets you freely explore an interconnected world. The game relies on minimal player guidance in favor of environmental storytelling, clues through dialogue, and the joy of discovering new things and places. Definitely not my kind of game after reading this. Platforming in the game is getting more and more challenging through the introduction of new abilities. Movement was designed to feel somewhat realistic and resembling actual mountain climbing. Abilities are mostly climbing gear like ice picks and the game's signature move, the grappling hook, which allows the player to traverse the world in a very fun and agile way. So yeah, this might be your kind of game, that's why I'm including it in this list. So many platformers in January with 3D, with 2D graphics. Old Tunnel is the next one on this list, releasing on the 25th of January 2023. Um, Developed and self-published by Huge Pixel, it will be a full release. Old Tunnel combines tough real-time battles with an automatic runner and platformer. Each of your skills has a cooldown, so you will have to fight in difficult conditions using ingenuity. And all these underground monsters are trying to tear your adventurer to pieces. Let's tell you a little bit about the game. It's the main feature of Old Tunnel is stylish pixel graphics, unusual gameplay, which together with music conveys the atmosphere of the mysterious and gloomy corridors of the Old Tunnel. There are plenty of traps and troubles in the dungeon that will finish your face ahead of time. Are you sure that you are ready for a new batch of tests? So there's going to be a lot of jumping, rolling under obstacles, and all sorts of things to do in this platformer in the Old Tunnel. So there's lots of things to worry about. It looks fun, it looks interesting. Definitely not my genre, but it could be the right game for you out there. Now we have something more classic, traditional JRPG style of a game. Celestine, releasing on the 26th of January 2023, developed and self-published by Cherry Bloom. Celestine, by the makers of Final Battle, features an enthralling story with many twists and turns and a gameplay to satisfy the itch of RPG players. It is a must-have for fans of the old Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, and Breath of Fire games. Regarding the controls, you use various things on keyboard. Thankfully, it's made very well for mouse and keyboard as well as for gamepad. Regarding some of the backstory, let's see what I can tell you. Today is going to be the happiest day of young Celestine's life. Indeed, she's going to marry Prince Simon William Barry Dermot of Sharrock the Sixth, born 20 years ago on the first day of summer, which foretells prosperity according to the tales. But as she flaunts her gorgeous wedding dress in the hallways of the palace, Celestine doesn't realize the worst is about to happen. Cersei, heiress of Noctopolis, is determined not to let this ceremony go through, and mere minutes before the union, the poor helpless bride can do nothing but witness in tears the abduction of her prince. Is this the end? True love knows no limit, and Celestine, quickly joined by a grumpy old knight, is about to live an adventure she would only have imagined in her wildest dreams or nightmares. So yeah, it's an interesting title, and if you're looking for a more classic style JRPG game, Celestine is a nice title to check out in January. And speaking of classical style JRPGs, here comes Elohim Eternal: The Babel Code. Releasing on the 30th of January 2023, developed and self-published by George Alexandrus explore a vibrant world where ancient religions fuse with technology in this character-driven JRPG. Master deep turn-based combat as you battle with divine magic against beasts with mecha parts. Embark on a grand adventure to retrieve the sacred Babel code, um, which is needed to come face to face with your gods. It looks very beautiful. It looks very nice in considering the pixel art style. Um, and it will be 10 to 12 hour game with gear, war, and artifacts to collect, varied enemies to battle, story-driven side quests, and different landscapes to explore. You can review enemies' weaknesses and use divine magic to decimate your foes. Use that same divine magic to boost your power and break enemy shields. And there's an exotic setting that blends the best of fantasy and science fiction, all through the lens of ancient religion, backed by years of research into Judaism and Christianity, as well as ancient Babylonian, Sumerian, and Egyptian religions. Looks like a very promising JRPG with turn-based classic combat out there, story-rich one at that. So if you're into that, definitely keep it on your radar. To get notified when I upload more content like this one or other builds and guides for Wooter and not so Wooter games, you can subscribe to my channel and hit that bell button to not miss out on notifications. As well as keep in mind there's something called memberships on YouTube, which lets you be a paying member for my channel to get access to perks such as emotes and badges made by me, as well as the option to get one-on-one tutoring for the very basics of Adobe Photoshop, Premiere, and After Effects. And memberships can be cancelled at any time if you no longer want to be a member. Thanks for watching all the way until the end, Struck Web. Keep it cool until next time, and goodbye.